amazing Nigerian mom and you're welcome to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed watching today and give a like if you enjoyed this video. So sometimes we don't have time to prep tomatoes for future use, and for those times we need to bake tomatoes sauces for our kids for school. So this method I use to preserve tomatoes and also save some space in my fridge. So first thing you're going to do is the tomatoes. It's good to have good seeds, like you pick up firm fruits, and then you're going to sort your tomatoes into the good ones and the ones that are not too perfect for slicing. The ones that are too soft for slicing, you're going to take them out, and the ones that are at least firm. Now this one now has a little bit of softness, but half of it is still firm. We're going to use it. So now it's not going to be wasted. The ones that are too soft can be blended to make stews or sauces or any other thing we like to use them for. Now we're done sorting the hard or firm ones. We're going to wash them in 2 changes of water. These things sometimes you don't know what happened to them before they get to you. Some of them have caked on mud, so you have to really wash them or be careful. If you can, wash them individually. But then we have large numbers of tomatoes. It's not really easy to do that. So that's why it's good sometimes I leave them in water for some time so that the mud, if there's any mud on it, is going to get softer, and the one I'm washing, with a little help from the washing, is going to just get off. You can see what I mean. Like this one now, I found out as a caked on mud, so I had to take it back to wash it again. Now you can see how clean this water is. That means the tomato is now clean. So we're done washing the tomatoes. We're going to start chopping them up. So it's best to use to cut tomatoes. You're going to need a very sharp knife or a knife with serrated edges. Do you know the test for sharp knives? sharp knives are tomatoes. If your knives can slice, what am I saying tomatoes every time for? If your knives can slice tomato that means the knife is very sharp. So you're gonna chop them up and try to make them uniform size. You can slice them, you can make them chop them into big sizes or moderate chunks. Now when you get tomatoes like this one that have a bad side, you cut them off. You see, you cut out the bad sides. Now if it's still good inside, you now cut the remaining parts that are still good. Now look at this one again. I'm going to use the knife to get out this little part. That could be an entrance for a worm, but luckily there's none inside, just a skin surface wound. So chop them up again. So those times when we go to school and our kids, or we want to keep tomatoes for future use, if we have a large harvest from our farms and we don't want all of them to be blended, and we need chopped tomatoes, because if you want to make omelette, you need chopped tomatoes. You want to make sauce for yam, you don't need to use blended tomatoes, you're going to need chopped ones. So we always tend to save tomatoes in only the blended ways or the blended form. So we cutting it this way and preserving it because it's going to make prepper time shorter and faster. You only have one more thing to do, just to fry your tomatoes as you cook. Now this helped me whenever I travel to the village, or as a busy mom with 4 kids, when you had to wake up early in the morning to maybe make something like omelette with chips or yam or anything I need chopped tomatoes for. It saved me time, especially when I traveled to the village and I had to feed a big or make food for large family members. So this really cut my time in half. Now you can cut out these parts and use them blended form if you want. Now I'm going to pour them into a pot and let it cook for a few minutes. Now I'm only covering this with the lid because I want it to boil faster. So once it starts boiling, take off the lid, otherwise it's going to get more watery. Yeah, it's going to get more watery, and that's not what I want, and it could easily overcook to the way I want it. So just make it boil for 5 good minutes. Now I'm going to keep them here, and I've already sterilized the bottles prior to cooking the tomatoes, and the drying whilst we're cutting tomatoes. Now I'm using vinegar to clean up the bottle rims. So you're going to pour the tomatoes into the jars using a wide mouth funnel, which is more suitable for this. So we're going to fill it up to the an inch to the bottle rim, and then we're going to try to get the bubbles using maybe a flat spatula, or I've forgotten what this is called. This came with my No Pro scanning set. I've forgotten what it's called, but to get the bubbles, then you cover. Now I'm going to do the same to the other bottles of tomatoes until tomatoes are finished. Seal the lid tightly, make sure they're very tight, and then we're going to put them in a pot. Now I'm using a Ziploc bag to prevent the bottles from being in direct contact with heat in the pot. You can use paper towels or leaves or anything of your choice. Now you add some water. You can add water to cover to the neck or over the bottle, and then you boil for like 15 minutes, and then you get them out of the boiling water using a jar lifter because they're very, very hot at this point. Allow them to cool and then store in a dark, cool place. Avoid contact with direct heat or sunlight, and they will last you as long as 2 months. Any sunken lid shows that is well sealed, and that's a good sign. So now if you see any discoloration, please do not use it, throw it away. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed watching this. And if you've learned something today, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Take care.